What's up guys, and Funape here. I'm sorry if the lighting is not as good as it could be. I'm currently filming this when the UK is going through a heat wave. And if you guys live in the UK or know how bad UK heat waves can get, it is currently hotter than a primal Groudon's testicle. As you guys probably know, there are a lot of Pokemon that break the competitive so badly that it's not even funny. But there are also Pokemon that used to be really powerful, but are pretty crappy now. For example, Tauros. Tauros is a good example of a Pokemon that used to be really good because of the fact of its high speed and high attack power, and because back then, crits were highly dependent on your speed. And because Tauros had a lot of speed and a lot of power, Tauros kind of swept a lot of competitive players. So I wanted to talk about Pokemon that both used to be powerful but not as powerful anymore, plus Pokemon that are breaking the competitive scene nowadays. Be sure to let me know down in the comment section below if you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it, if you agree with some of my picks, if you think I've missed a couple Pokemon from the list, and if you have any video suggestions from the future, be sure to let me know down in the comment section below. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, to start with, I'm going to start with the list of Pokemon that used to be really powerful, but not as much anymore. I think a great start would be one of my favourite Pokemon that I used in a somewhat competitive format. Basically, I used this Pokemon to help beat the 50 streak of the Battle Maison. And it was practically the star player. That being Mega Kangaskhan. This was an absolute bloody unit. For those who don't know, Mega Kangaskhan's ability allows it to attack twice, but the second attack isn't as strong as the first. Unfortunately, it was so strong that the Pokemon developers decided to nerf it so badly that it's not even funny. Like, they made it so that the second attack does less damage than it normally would. And I believe that change came in around Gen 7, I believe? It just kind of makes me sad of the fact that a Pokemon that helped me defeat the 50 streak in the Battle Maison got such a heavy nerf. Now we're going to talk about another one of my favourite Pokemon, Aegislash. Aegislash is by far one of my favourite Pokemon of all time. And it is also an incredible powerhouse. It's so powerful that the Pokemon developers had to nerf its base stat total. Yeah, I'm not lying. Literally, they had to decrease some of its defense, I believe, and also some of its attack when it goes into Blade mode. So, yeah, this Aegislash was so strong, they had to make it weaker. Does that show how powerful Aegislash can be? Because of the fact that it has an ability that can change its stats and its form with just one move, King Shield. So the second that you use King Shield, whoop, defense and special defense get swapped. But the second you go into Blade mode with something like Iron Head or Shadow Claw, whoop, go straight back to normal with super high attack and super high special attack. Now I'm going to be talking about a Pokemon that isn't really one of my favourites, but it does negatively affect one of my favourites. Now, for those who don't know, Smeargle's whole thing is to copy other Pokemon's attacks, which can be fun, but also can be very, very dangerous. For example, the reason why this move got nerfed was because of Smeargle. Dark Void. Dark Void is a move that puts Pokemon to sleep. And let's say you're in a double battle or a triple battle. If you're in a double battle, Dark Void hits every single Pokemon on the field. And if you're in a triple battle and Smeargle's in the middle, it'll hit all three Pokemon at once. And before the nerf, Dark Void has a really insane high accuracy. So this was so strong, they had to nerf Dark Void's accuracy and make it so Smeargle can't copy Dark Void. Do you see how nuts that is? Now we're talking about something of the avian variety. What? Haven't you heard that the bird is the word? Next up is Talonflame. And I'm guessing you guys know where I'm going with this. Talonflame's hidden ability is Gale Wing, meaning it's the flying type attacks gain a power boost. Unfortunately, it was so good that Talonflame saw a lot of competitive use. So much so that everyone was using a Talonflame. Yeah. Like, literally, it was so bustedly broken that they had to make Gale Wing's Talonflame weaker. They nerfed how much damage Gale Wings could actually do, which pissed off a lot of people very fast. But that didn't piss me off. What pissed me off was the next Pokemon I'm going to be talking about. Greninja. It's still good, it's just not as good as it used to be. In Gen 6 and 7, Greninja dominated. Now, it's basically the butt of everyone's jokes. Greninja's ability is Protein, and before it got nerfed, Protein makes it so that every single move you make, the Pokemon using the move becomes that type every single time you use an attack. Then, Greninja's Battle Bond ability. That is what pissed me off the fucking most. With Battle Bond, when Greninja knocks out an opponent, it becomes Ash Greninja. And unfortunately, Ash Greninja was so good, but the Game Freak developers decided, you know what? I think would be a great business decision. Let's make it so that everyone forgets Ash Greninja exists, yeah? Oh, and then, if people decided to send a Greninja with Battle Bond over, let's not give it the transformation, decide, and you know what, let's just buff its stats a little bit. Doesn't that sound like a great idea? No! No, it fucking doesn't! Ash Greninja is my second favourite Pokemon of all time, and they basically throw it out the fucking window! Seriously, Game Freak, what are you smoking? Now I'm going to be talking about the Pokemon that are currently destroying competitive. And thanks to recent Pokemon Champions leaks, I can talk about these freely. Let's talk about some Megas. Mega Staraptor. It has the Contrary ability. And if you guys don't know, Contrary makes it so that any stat changes does the opposite effect of what they're supposed to do. And if you guys don't know, Mega Staraptor becomes a fighting type. And if you also didn't know, it has a move called Close Combat, which is 128 base attack power, which then becomes Stab after Mega Evolving, and then it will increase Staraptor's defense and physical defense each time it's used. That is nuts. Then combine that with already OP attack stat, you're fucked. Then there's Mega Scrafty, who basically uses Intimidate twice. Literally, its stat is already Intimidate before Mega Evolving, but when Mega Evolved again, Intimidate activates again, making it so that all Pokemon in the field loses 2 points of attack power. That is just stupid. Then there's Mega Feraligatr, whose Dragonized ability makes it so that normal attacks become Dragon type attacks. And if you guys didn't know, when it Mega Evolves, it turns into a Dragon type. And also Dragonized makes it so that it's normal type attacks that then become Dragon type gain more power. So if you combine that with a high friendship return, you're fucked. Especially since if Feraligatr combines it with moves like Dragon Dance, which ups attack and speed. You're never seeing the sunlight if that happens. Oh, speaking of sunlight, that leads straight into the next Mega. Mega Meganium. Mega Meganium's ability, Mega Soul, makes it so that moves like Solar Beam and Solar Blade always activate the turn it's used, as if harsh sunlight was already there. Yeah. And combine that with already stupidly high special attack with pretty decent defense. That Solar Beam is hitting you hard without warning. So have fun with that. Here's another Pokemon that I think is stupidly nuts. Mega Electros. This thing has a brand new ability called Elevate. What that does is basically an evolved form of Levitate, making it so it's immune to ground. Oh, shock fucking horror! But it's even worse. First off, it is immune to moves like Spikes, Toxic Spikes, Stealth Rock, stuff like that. But when it knocks out a Pokemon, it'll raise its highest stat. And knowing Electros, it's either going to be its physical attack, special attack, or speed. Have fun with that. Let's talk about an old classic, Mega Charizard Y. It has the ability Drowse. Makes it harsh sunlight. Makes it really easy for people who use sun teams to set up stuff like Solar Blade, Solar Beam, Weather Ball, like really high powered flamethrowers and heat waves. Heat wave. If you made it this far into the video, I just wanted to thank you all for getting me to 410 subscribers the video after I made it back to YouTube. I'm going to do a video that I promised you. I will be doing 4 crazy dares that you guys suggest to me, no holding back, within reason, of course, because I don't really want to go to prison for robbing a bank with a banana, for example. However, I don't have enough dares yet. So, if you guys haven't left a dare yet, or if you want to leave more than one dare that you want me to do, I need some comments telling me what dares you want me to do. Because I've got so little dares, I had to come up with some of my own. But, yeah, if you guys could leave dares for me in the comments, I would highly appreciate it. And then you could possibly see your dare in my video. So, please, give me some dares if you want to see me do something crazy. But now, let's get back to the video. Now, these Pokemon have actually been having a lot of uprise in Pokemon Champions. One of which is actually one of my personal favourites from Gen 4. Rotom Wash. I mean, there's no reason to go over too much about Rotom Wash. It's an electrical water type Pokemon with Levitate, meaning no ground weakness, meaning it only has one weakness, Grass type. However, Grass types are not commonly used in competitive. Grass type moves are more commonly used, but a non-stab Grass move isn't likely to knock it out. Plus, chances are it's probably holding the berry that weakens Grass type attacks. So even if you manage to land a Grass move on Rotom Wash, chances are it's gonna stay up. Then there's a really old classic pairing in doubles, that being Tyranitar and Excadrill. Combine the two, and you've got a speedy, high-attacking Drill Mole with a pseudo-legendary who looks like he's from a Godzilla movie. Because of the fact that one has Sand Rush, one has Sandstream. Set at the Sandstorm up, you've got a speedy, a high-attacking bastard. And then you've got a pseudo-legendary who's also a tanky, attacking bastard. Say hello to Palafin, one of the strongest Pokemon introduced in Gen 9. Literally, with its special ability, the second you use Flip Turn, you have got a bloody brute of an arsehole of a Pokemon to deal with. Because of the fact it will hit hard and will not give a monkey's backside about it. Its attack stat is through the goddamn roof. Speaking of OP Pokemon in Gen 9, say hi to King Gambit, which is actually a Pokemon that I used during my original Violet playthrough, fun fact. This thing is a monster. With Supreme Overlord, if all your Pokemon have been knocked out, it gains an attack boost from every single Pokemon that's been knocked out. That is just pure insanity. Especially since if you combine it with something like maybe a Choice Scarf, and then combine it with Kowtow Cleave, or even if you maybe terrestrialize it and turn it into either a Dark type or a Steel type, then combine it with either Kowtow Cleave or Iron Head, you're fucked. Now for a Pokemon that I didn't actually think originally when it came out would be so strong. That being Annihilate. I mean, I guess I should have guessed it would be so strong based on its name. You know, Annihilate. It's already got some alright stats, but the main thing that you have to be careful of is Rage Fist. Rage Fist is a move that gains more power the more Annihilate gets hit. So if you use Bulk Up, so that way you can up its already strong attack and okay defense, you've got a Pokemon that can tank hits and then dish them out almost double, if not triple as hard with Rage Fist, because the more damage it takes, the more it will dish out through Rage Fist. And if it pulls off a Rage Fist, you might as well just say goodbye to your team. Then you've got something else that's pretty hard hitting. In fact, these next two Pokemon kind of work together. Walking Wake is a Pokemon that has a very powerful move called Hydro Steam, making it so that it's more powerful during harsh sunlight. So it can work with either sun teams or rain teams. But if you want to, you can combine that with bloody Koraidon, who summons harsh sunlight when summoned. Combine those two on the field, you're screwed! Especially since, like, Walking Wake's ability increases one of its stats. So it could be either special attack or even speed. And if either one of them gets increased, you're absolutely screwed. Funny enough, another Pokemon that's surprisingly strong is Miraidon, who also has its own little, like, summoning ability. It has the ability to summon electric terrain, making its electrical attacks even stronger. So that's going to be fun because of the fact if you combine that with Charge, Parabolic Charge, and possibly even a Power Orb, then combine it with its signature ability, the signature move, sorry. Combine that with its signature move, you are gonna lose the battle very quick. Time for another Gen 9 Pokemon, that being Chimpao. I don't even need to talk about this, but I'm gonna anyway. This thing can automatically lower the defense stats of all the Pokemon on the opponent's side of the field. Its attack and speed are through the goddamn roof, and it's also got really good support such as Swords Dance and stuff like that. Combine that with priority moves such as Ice Shard or Sucker Punch. This thing is taking you down before you even make a move. It's basically Weavile on steroids. Here's another strong Gen 9 Pokemon. Everyone seems to love Goldengo. And for good reason too. Because it is immune to stats, like lowering effects, and it's also immune to stuff like Toxic, Will-O-Wisp, Taunt. It's absolutely nuts. Then if you combine that with its signature move, Make It Rain, and possibly even other high-hitting moves like Shadow Ball, it's gonna wipe the field completely. You are so surprised how many strong Gen 9 Pokemon came out. Like, I'm gonna talk about another one. Fluttermane. Do I even need to talk about goddamn Fluttermane? Fluttermane's ability makes it so it can work in Sun teams. It can even work perfectly with Koraidon. Those two together are a scary thought. Not to mention, its stats are through the roof. 570 base stat is absolutely nuts. Then if you combine its typing, Ghost Fairy makes it so that no Pokemon can resist both Ghost and Fairy at the same time. Combine that with its wide and diverse move pool, you're screwed. Absolutely screwed. Alright, last Gen 9 Pokemon I'm going to be talking about is Blood Moon Ursaluna. And it's actually one of my favourites to come out in Gen 9. However, this thing is a monster. This thing can wreck your shit. Mind's Eye makes it so that it can hit Ghost type Pokemon with normal and fighting type attacks. That's cool and all, but its signature move Blood Moon is absolutely unstoppable. It is so powerful, it's not even a joke. Like, you can't even sit there and laugh at the thing. It is that goddamn busted. If you combine its really super high special attack and the fact that it's got incredible physical bulk, like, this thing would be so strong in a Trick Room team. Literally, its high HP, high defense, and high special attack, and the fact that it's really slow, makes it a perfect candidate for a Trick Room team. And I know a certain someone who loves a Trick Room team. Now time for the first non-Gen 9 Pokemon I'm been talking about for quite some time. Oh, we've got Shadow Calyrex. Remember this bastard? If you do, I bet they're not fond memories, unless you're using one. Oh god, this goddamn thing is so strong. With Grimnay, it gains special attack for every single time it knocks out an opponent. And if you use it in doubles, if you knock out 2 Pokemon, it's gaining 2 special attack. Which won't be too bad if you're using Haze, but I don't even think that is going to save you. Then if you combine it with its signature move, Astral Barrage, which can hit both the opponents at the same time, and including its stats, you're going down. There's just no debate over it. You're going down. Then there's one of my favourite Pokemon, Urshifu. I'm going to be talking about the Rapid Strike form, even though I prefer the Single Strike form. But the Rapid Strike form is unarguably stronger. Its ability Unseen Fist makes it so it can bypass moves like Protect and Detect, which is already quite strong. Its stats are messed up. That's just sick. Especially if you combine it with its signature move, Surging Strike. Surging Strike is a move that always lands critical hits. And I believe it also is a move that hits the opponent at least 3 times. Not to mention, Surging Strikes is a move that ignores like defense buffs such as Iron Defense, Defense Curl, and it also ignores moves that decrease the user's attack such as Intimidate or Growl. So, yeah, this thing is kind of busted. It just is kind of nuts how busted this thing is. Now let's talk about the strongest starter possibly in the game, Incineroar. Incineroar is just unfair. Like, literally, all you need to do is slap up this thing with its hidden ability Intimidate, then combine Parting Shot, and pretty much half of your opponent's attack is gone. That's pretty much Incineroar's whole shtick. But if you want to up the ante, its Darkest Lariat move makes it so that it can also bypass moves such as like Iron Defense or even Defense Curl, and stuff like Intimidate and Growl doesn't affect it either. So if you combine that with a move that increases Incineroar's attack, it's gonna hit so hard. But let's take a moment to talk about the previous strongest starter, Blaziken. Blaziken is absolutely strong. Like, even though it's not as strong as it used to be anymore, it's still really strong. Because of the fact that speed boost makes it so that its already ungodly speed can surpass pretty much anything at this point. Like literally, combine speed boost with something like hone claws. This thing is a passing made in heaven. That's how fast it'll go. Like my personal favorite strat to use for that kind of Blaziken is to use hone claws, then combine blaze kick, high jump kick, and stone edge. Build that, and you've got a recipe for a disaster striking bastard. I'm going to be talking about an old fan favourite now, Dracovish. I don't really think I need to talk about much about Dracovish, but for those who don't know, Dracovish is insanely strong. Its ability Strong Jaw makes it so that biting moves gain a power boost. Then if you combine that with Fishious Rend, which is a biting move, then if you combine Fishious Rend's ability, where if the attack goes first, it doubles in power, then combine it with Stab, it's actually going to mathematically defeat a Pokemon that resists water attacks. So as long as you make it so that Dracovish goes first every single time and uses Fishious Rend, you're going to knock out a lot of Pokemon very fast. It is actually kind of sickening how strong this thing is. And now, here's the last Pokemon, which I don't particularly like because of its design and its stats, because back in its original generation, it was nowhere near this strong. But after convincing, I couldn't ignore it. If you're a competitive player, I'm sure you can see why I put it here, but Weezing is so ungodly strong if you use it correctly. Like, it is such a powerhouse, it's not even funny. With its ability Neutralizing Gas, it can eliminate special abilities of Pokemon. So, let's say you decide you wanted to run a Slacking. That's right, Slacking. If you combine Weezing with Slacking, Neutralizing Gas will stop Taunt. That's right, it will stop Taunt. Like, there are so few abilities that can stop Taunt. And somehow, this thing can stop it. How nuts is that? Don't fancy using Taunt? Okay, you don't have to use Slacking. You can decide to use Regigigas, which can stop Slow Start. Meaning, you have an ungodly threat with the leader of the Reggies. Then, if you want to, you could also use the same strat with a Galarian Weezing, which makes it so that it kind of has more defenses when it comes to typing. Then if you combine that with the fact that Weezing gets stuff like Toxic Spikes, or even like Haze, or Will-O-Wisp, you've got a Pokemon that can literally stop you from doing much at all before you even start. And there you have it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video as much as I did, and be sure to let me know down in the comment section below if you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it, if you agree or disagree with any of the points I made, if you think I've missed out a Pokemon, and if you have any video suggestions for the future, be sure to let me know down in the comment section below. Did you enjoy the video as much as I did making it? If you did, be sure to give it a massive thumbs up, comment down below, share this video with a friend, and if you're new, subscribe to my channel to be an Inferno today. Okay, that's all from me, so until the next time, this is Inferno, signing off. Bye!